Good afternoon on this terrific Tuesday. Welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Chad Silver here with Lauren Coleman, and we have sent Eric Chilton out to the weather garden today.
Kick me out.
Where it's very cold. I had to pull out my ice scraper this morning because it was so icy on my car.
Wow.
I did too. I had to warm. I had my car outside, so it wasn't in the garage. We have too many kids stuff in the garage. I have no room for a car.
And pretty soon you're going to have all the kids will have cars
Yeah.
too, so then you really won't have room.
I mean, it looks like a used car lot in the summer when
I bet.
kids are home from college. All right, let's talk about our forecast and how things are going to change with us. We've got, we've got colder weather coming up, and I mean colder weather. We're looking at these overnight lows again. That'll be pretty chilly, some 20s and 30s. Really depends on which days you're looking at. It's not so much that our high temperatures are super cold. It's just that we have front after front. It just seems like we get a wave of rain, then 2 or 3 days with a break, and then more rain back in again. These readings are comfortable though, right? And that's not bad. This is actually a little above normal this time of the year. 53 for Greensboro, and in Winston-Salem we have 56 in High Point. Asheboro at 52, Lexington 54, and it's 52 in Mount Airy. There's that low in the 30s we talked about, 36 degrees, increasing cloud cover. Again, this rain will be coming in possibly overnight and throughout the better part of the day tomorrow. You don't see this very often, but we have a 100% chance of rain for tomorrow, just pulling out all the stops. Winds will be kicking up as well as the system moves by. I think the high temperature ends up a little bit cooler than today, but not too much. 51 degrees for that high tomorrow. Satellite and radar combination looking good now, but you see what's on the horizon. And this low is really starting to pick up some steam. We've seen some tornado warnings actually down to the south. We should not see anything like that. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has shifted their marginal thunderstorm risk east of us, but that remains to be seen. So I would think if you're in the southern Piedmont and maybe down to, say, Montgomery County, Chatham, Moore, Lee, and maybe up toward southeastern Randolph in that area, we could see an isolated thunderstorm. But temperature highs, though, in that 51 degree mark, we shouldn't see anything too severe. We're going to talk about the rain totals, when this will all leave us, and we'll give you a weekend outlook coming up.
Well, whether it's rain, snow, no, there's not going to be snow, or just cooler weather, why trust any other team than the News 2 Weather Team? They've been rated most accurate in the Triad 15 of the last 16 years. You can see their forecasts using our free app when they're not on the air.
Let's get to your headlines around North Carolina. We have new information about a Greensboro case concerning a now former police officer. Last week, he was charged with some alarming crimes. The department says the officer is charged with 6 counts of indecent liberties with a minor, among other offenses. Now his wife is also facing charges in relation to the crimes. To be transparent with you, we have decided not to name the officer or his wife to protect the identity of the alleged victim. Police say they first learned of allegations of a possible sexual assault last November. The sheriff's office began investigating while the police department put the officer on administrative duty. Investigators shared their findings with the district attorney last week, which led to the firing. This is the second GPD officer to be fired in the past 2 weeks. You'll remember we told you about Officer K.E. Adams, who was charged with sexual battery, assault on a female, and giving alcohol to an underage person. Count on us to keep you in the loop as we learn more information. All lanes of Oakland Avenue are back open after a massive fire burned through a trucking company in Greensboro this morning. The fire department says they went into defense mode immediately when they arrived at Smith Trucking Company. They say the fire was so large that they needed 60 firefighters to fight the fire. The rear half of the building is where most of the damage is, and the roof was burned. The fire also engulfed some trailers in the back of the trucking company. Fire crews don't believe anyone was inside of the building at the time of the fire. There were some issues with water supplies because the trucks had to get through a fence of the facility, making it difficult to put the fire out initially. The fire marshal is investigating the cause of this fire. Today is the first full day of the Urban Loop open. After decades of planning, the final section, the Greensboro Urban Loop, is complete. Today was the first time drivers could drive the entire Urban Loop. The final stretch connecting Elm Street to US 29 officially opened at noon yesterday when state and city leaders cut the ribbon. Drivers noticed there is still some final work that needs to be done. Lanes need to be repainted, and drivers getting used to the new traffic flow will also take some time. I've got to say, it looks great. Every time we show video of it, the overhead video, the video of us driving it. What I was really impressed with, Grace Hall in her report last night, when she visually showed how much time is saved driving the loop versus not driving the loop. And I think it was about an 8-minute difference with the route that she took.
And some people are saying that it is going to cut some travel times in half compared to where you're coming from and where you're going to, of course. But yeah, just some growing pains that we have heard about over the past couple of days. You know, that they're working on some of the signage for some of the different exits. So it's not all ready and set to go. So
keep your eyes peeled.
Have some patience.
No illegal U-turns. Just make sure that you're aware when you're out and about on the road.
Absolutely, but definitely something that lots of people will be able to take advantage of. And we saw people talking about it in Rockingham County, where it's going to be easy for them to get to the airport because they won't have to go around the south side of Greensboro anymore. They can go over the north side. And really just a lot of people able to benefit from the completion of the urban loop.
A long time coming, 20 plus years.
23 years, and they started talking about it in the 60s.
In the 60s, before we were even thought of. So pretty
Absolutely, yeah. All right, moving on now. Charlotte FC fans came together today to celebrate the life of Anton. The 25-year-old defender died in a Florida boat crash last week. Fans gathered at Bank of America Stadium at 3 p.m. today. The team asked fans to wear black Charlotte FC gear or their new kits in his honor. According to the Center for Disease Control, the number of Americans without some form of health insurance was north of 30 million. Well, here in our state, close to 1 million people live without medical insurance. Over the years, rising health care premiums have left many without any form of medical insurance and very limited options for health care. But Cone Health in Alamance County is providing help, and all you need is proof of residency and proof of income.
Our main purpose is to provide health care for the uninsured and low income in the county.
We provide free clinic, free health care to adults from ages 18 to 64. We're here for you, for your preventive care, for your vaccinations, for your yearly physical, to take care of your diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol. That's all what we do.
Now, you must live in Alamance County to take advantage of this specific clinic. But if you just Google your county and to find out, you can see one of these open door clinics in your area. This is so vital because over the years in some of the rural parts of the Triad, we have seen where hospitals are closing because they just can't stay open anymore for whatever reason. And when you live in a rural area, so many people rely on those hospitals because the next closest one could be 30 minutes to an hour away.
And some of those people that live in those rural areas don't always have transportation that they need. When we talk about health disparities, a lot of the times it comes to people not having transportation or access to quality care. So it's great that they have this open and it's free. Why not take advantage of it?
Absolutely. All right, again, that was Alamance County, but just look online to see if your county has one of those as well. And we'll be right back.
Pottery students at Eastern Alamance High School in Mebane could be getting some national recognition after competing in a prestigious arts competition for teens. I caught up with the students and their instructor to find out what the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards is all about. The ability to think outside the box is what the pottery students at Eastern Alamance High School say makes a great artist. 11th grader Ansley Dial takes pride in her work.
I got into pottery sophomore year, and I found it really cool that you could make sculptures out of clay and glaze pieces and stuff like that.
Her pottery recently earned gold on the state level in the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards competition. It's the nation's longest-running, most prestigious recognition program for creative teens.
My piece was inspired by an artist named Johnson Sang, and he creates baby faces, and I chose to do an open head on it, so it would be a functional piece.
Ansley's work will now be considered for placement in the national competition. If she wins gold again, she will be invited to Carnegie Hall in New York. In addition to Ansley, 3 Eastern Alamance students who won silver for their pottery work will be honored at a reception at East Carolina School of Art and Design in February.
And I'm just really proud of myself, and I'm very surprised that I could get a silver key on my project.
I really enjoy pottery because it kind of has like a functional level to art, to where it's not just like kind of 2D.
I've always liked pottery. I've always been interested in it. I've done different kinds of art my whole life. And in high school, that was something different that was available. And so I just kind of always wanted to do it.
Pottery instructor Laura Daughtry says she couldn't be prouder of her students' work.
I mean, I get as excited as they do when something works out. And when it doesn't work out, we've all learned something from it. And we don't learn things when we do everything perfectly. We learn things when we fail and make mistakes. So I try to instill that in our students as well.
Very cool. So the national award winners will be announced in March, and this prestigious competition has been around for 100 years this year, and past recipients include Stephen King and Andy Warhol.
Wow.
So I can tell you how big of a deal
Yes.
this is, and only a handful of students actually qualify for the gold key at the national level.
That's incredible. Seagrove better watch out. Seagrove is like the pottery capital of the Triad.
Yeah. And
Maybe
they've been out
Mebane,
there.
Eastern Alamance High School. They've got some work there ahead of them. But that's so cool and so talented. Have you ever made pottery?
I have made pottery once. When I was in 5th grade, we made bowls. We handmade them, so we made little squigglies and we put them together in a bowl, and I remember they put them through the fire and then they were glazed and everything like that. And I still have that bowl. It's at my parents' house in my bedroom.
I know we did that when I was a kid too, but have you ever done the pottery wheel?
The wheel, I have not. That is like a level up, because the teacher was telling me those are like year 2 pottery students. They get to do the wheel.
Sometimes I go down a rabbit hole on social media where people are just posting videos of them creating things on the wheel, and obviously they speed it up, but just to see some of the talent.
To make a bowl out of it and it not spill all over. It definitely takes a skill. Very quickly, I want to share the teacher actually was several of their elementary school art teachers when they were young.
Oh, wow.
So she's
Oh, my
known them
gosh.
like their whole lives. Then she switched to high school art eventually, and they got to take her again in high school. So she's really got to see them evolve and develop along the way.
Kind of coming full circle
Yeah.
for our class.
All right, guys, we'll be right back after this break. Stick with us.
We're going to chat about our forecast here with some changes coming up. We've got clouds building in tonight and a couple of showers. Now, the heavier rains will really be tomorrow. In fact, some of the models are anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch, but we'll keep an eye on that. The rain could be, and probably should be, heavy at times based on what we're seeing. The severe risk looks like it shifted a little east, but I want everybody to kind of take that with a grain of salt and remember, say, eastern half of the viewing area. Just keep an eye out for maybe an isolated thunderstorm here. It is possible. I know our temperatures don't look like it, but we do see a lot of upper level support with that. But 36 for that low tonight. With the rain developing, it'll be a cold and rainy start to your morning tomorrow, and then that high of 51 degrees. We're not seeing much now, but cloud cover will get here ahead of that system. It's causing big problems down in the deep south around the Houston area. Now it's moving into Louisiana. You'll hear about some tornadoes down that way, or at least the possibility of that throughout the evening. Then it lifts to the north and moves across us. This is at 11 o'clock tomorrow when really the majority of the rain is right over us. We're hoping that by Wednesday evening and definitely into the night, we'll see some clearing. It may be windy on the backside of that system and significantly cooler, but we will see that rain move through. At least it's only, say, a first 2/3 of the day type of situation with the rain, and then high pressure will move in. We'll get a couple, 3 days there. I think Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday look like pretty decent days. Then we have another rain chance for the end of the weekend and heading into your Sunday and Monday, I should say, as well. So increasing clouds tonight, as we mentioned, that low 36 degrees. Tomorrow, the rain and wind are likely with the high of 51. Again, the high temperatures kind of hovering in that low 50s, upper 40s as we go into Wednesday and Thursday for that matter. Friday's the coldest day, partly cloudy to mostly sunny, and we see that high of 45. Then we're back to the low 50s for the weekend. Not too bad. Rain chance, it's a 40% Sunday and a 20% Monday, but we're warming to the mid 50s by then. You know, we see lots of schools teaching our kids valuable life lessons, but Canterbury School has one that's getting really high marks. In fact, the older grades are actually help teaching the younger kids. I spoke with the kids and some of their teachers about the Mitten Tree program and how it teaches them the value of giving back. This is really cool. I love it. Talk about teaching kids how to give back at an early age. Yeah, they got it right here at Canterbury. All right, let's start with Layla. What is this all about?
So the 8th graders have Canterbury families, where basically it's a good way for the lower school and the middle school to come together and form good relationships. And what we did is we read the book, The Mitten Tree, and we collected mittens and gloves with sizes infants through adults, and we donate them to Backpack Beginnings.
So cool. So, they're teaching them how to give back. Cameron, you told me a little while ago that you've seen this program, but from a different angle. Explain that.
Yes, so basically at my old school, I used to go to David D. Jones Elementary, and the Backpack Beginnings would come, and then they would have these food bags, and then the school counselors would walk around with a big trash can. When you heard the wheels turning in the hallway, you knew that was Backpack Beginnings, and then all the kids would receive food bags, and they would take them home.
That's so cool. So you saw it from the receiving side of things. That's really neat. All right, Harper, so tell me about your 8th grade, is that right? So what did you guys do?
So we go to 8th grade splits in half, and half of us go to Impact Journey, and the other half of us go to Greensboro Cerebral Palsy Association, and these are 2 schools for kids with special needs or disability. So we'll go into the classroom, and we'll just help them play and just help them in the classroom.
And then what did inspire Sarah to do it?
All right, so I put these guys on the spot. All right, Johnny, Nathaniel, and Hunter are with us today. Let's start with you, Johnny. This is a cool experience. How did it make you feel?
So every week or two, one of our groups goes to Backpack Beginnings, and we fill up food bags for them to put in their backpacks.
Plus, it also makes you appreciate, right? And it's kind of something that makes you appreciate what you have in life.
Mm-hmm. We've always grown up with everything, but we don't know really how it's like to not have something, and I think this helps us kind of understand it and makes us want to help.
Does this teach you things that you'll teach your kids one day? How does this work?
Yes, because you can help anyone. You just help them by getting them anything they need, like food, socks, gloves, hats.
Things we take for granted, really,
yes.
Right? It's perfect. You see? Warm fuzzy. That's what this is all about. This is a great program. You got to check it out. That's just very cool. I love that the kids teach the other kids. That's kind of key. And when I went there, I said, do you want me to let's talk to one of the administrators as well as the kids? And she said, no, I want all about the kids. So we did nothing but talk to the children about it. It was really neat.
I love the young lady who said when she was younger, she was one of the students that received some of the items, because it just goes to show how important it is for her to share that story. I thought that was very beautiful.
She said that it was just last year too that she was there. She said, we remember we would hear the wheels of the big trash bin that they had filled with all the backpacks, and she said all of us would get excited knowing that they're delivering to kids.
That's
really
beautiful.
neat.
It's so great. And I mean, there's so many benefits to kids teaching other kids, right? I mean, you always get taught by the teachers, but I feel like it might be more impactful if it's coming from up here.
I will tell you, my older two twins, you know, they're 7 years older than my third oldest and 10 years older than my youngest girl. And those two little ones look up to them so much. There are times that Leslie and I have said, would you talk to them about why this is wrong? And when they do, they listen to them and they do what they say more so than they will with us.
Absolutely. So if they're setting a positive example, they're going to want to do those same exact things. So this is great. I hope this model can follow in other school districts. I've never seen this before.
And if you have questions about this, you can contact Canterbury School. They'll have all the details. They love this program.
That's great.
So, very cool. We'll be right back.
The 95th Annual Academy Award nominations were announced this morning, and Everything Everywhere All at Once leads the pack with 11 Oscar nominations. The indie breakout hit secured mentions in Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actress for star Michelle Yeoh, who is the first Asian actress nominated in the category. In addition, blockbusters made a comeback this year. Top Gun: Maverick and Avatar: The Way of Water are nominated for Best Picture. Other nominees include Steven Spielberg in Best Director, Angela Bassett in Best Supporting Actress, and Austin Butler in Best Actor for his portrayal of Elvis Presley. The 95th Academy Awards will be given out on March 12th. Those were some big movies. A lot of folks were talking about Elvis, Top Gun: Maverick. I know several people here at the station have seen.
That's the only one I've seen out of the whole list, and I don't care what the other ones show. Top Gun's
You
the
loved
best.
it.
Yeah,
I saw
so
Elvis.
good.
You saw that.
I saw
right?
Elvis. I thought it was really, really well done. I learned so much about him, a lot of things I didn't know before, so I thought it was great.
So I guess Angela Bassett was from Wakanda Forever. That's what that was, I think.
Okay, because I was
Yeah.
one. I love Angela Bassett. And
Yep,
I said,
I do
what did
too.
she get nominated for? So
I want to see. I never saw Top Gun, and I'm so mad at myself because you have to see that in the theater. I think it was too late.
I got to be honest with y'all. I haven't seen the first one or the second one.
I might have to leave.
Don't judge me.
That's how I felt about you when you said you haven't seen the second one. I wanted to leave too.
I know.
Why don't you guys
We
just
should both
both
leave. It's the Lauren Coleman show.
But you know what I will say, compared to years past, I feel I know more about some of the movies this year because of Manning Franks.
Yes.
Oh yes, absolutely.
He puts a lot of things on my radar because I do so much streaming. I don't see a lot of the commercials out there for what's in theaters. So I've really appreciated his movie reviews.
He's good. Go look it up if you haven't seen his stuff.
He'll be
And
there
watch
this week.
Top Gun, you two.
We'll be
Jeez.
back. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Our sanctioned halftime is over. Welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Chad Silver here with Lauren Coleman and who is that out there?
Hey,
Eric Chilton out in the weather garden
Chilton.
today.
clink, clink.
Do you wish you were inside?
No, I like it.
Oh, okay.
Cold weather doesn't really, and you know what? And to be honest, it's probably just as cold in the studio as it is out
Yeah,
there.
It's kinda cold here today.
It is
I can see my
chilly today.
goosebumps.
Have you seen our new furniture out here? That's what I need.
No, have not. Can you turn the camera that way?
I wish we could. I don't think we can turn camera 6 far enough, but yeah, well, I'll try to get a picture of that because
Okay,
I want to show
perfect.
you guys. Yeah, we have a nice little lounge out here.
Okay.
We'll call it the Weather Lounge.
The
from
cigar
now on.
bar.
Yeah, you'll need a heavy coat if you want to lounge out here. That's for sure. Let's talk about what's coming up, what changes we have, and yes, it'll be chilly. In fact, I should just say downright cold because even though 36 doesn't sound that bad, I mean, we were in the 20s this morning, but when you add rain to that and some winds, now you got something. And that's what we'll have for the overnight low. 53, the temperature right now in Greensboro. High Point, you're at 54. Let's head South Troy in the mid 50s at 55, along with Pinehurst, beautiful country down there. Sanford, that's Ed Matthews' hometown, at 54. Mount Airy, 52, and Winston-Salem at 53. So those temperatures not bad. Here's the issue. Clouds build in tonight, a chance of a shower. Really, it's tomorrow is most of the rain. It's a 51-degree high tomorrow with about a 100% chance of rain. It'll be windy, rainy, and cool for tomorrow as that system clears us. Now, a lot of folks wondering, because we've had severe weather down south, and we mean into southeastern Texas, Houston, having some heavy thunderstorms. We had tornado warnings down that way. This is all lifting our way, but we don't think that we'll see that type of weather. Our high temperatures are only in the low 50s. And sometimes if you have enough upper level support with a jet stream, you can get enough pull that you could have a thunderstorm or two. I think there is a possibility, but the Storm Prediction Center actually moved their marginal risk more toward Raleigh. But we are, eastern Piedmont from Burlington in that area. We might be right on the edge. Siler City, Chatham County. Just be careful of that tomorrow, but it would be isolated at best, we think. Unusual to be talking about a chance of a thunderstorm this time of the year. That high pressure moves away. Here comes this system with the rain and possible isolated storm. But as that moves by, windy and chillier on the backside of that, I think we have a good 2 or 3 day stretch once we get through tomorrow with all the rain. So a cold rain and 51 tomorrow. 48 and breezy on Thursday, some clearing there. Friday is sunny and 45. The weekend's really not that bad, at least first half. Saturday, partly cloudy, 51. Sunday, a 40% chance of rain. That's a 50-degree high temperature, and we'll keep a slight rain chance in for Monday and Tuesday. High temperatures go up to 54 Monday. That's the hottest for the week, and then 52 by Tuesday.
The president of Ticketmaster's parent company was in the hot seat on Capitol Hill today. Members of the Senate Judiciary Committee criticized the company for the botched pre-sale of Taylor Swift's concert tour. Ticketmaster blamed computer bots.
We apologize to the fans. We apologize to Ms. Swift.
The president and CFO of Live Nation Entertainment, which owns Ticketmaster, told the Senate Judiciary Committee a cyber attack crashed its website when Taylor Swift concert tickets went on sale.
We were then hit with 3 times the amount of bot traffic that we'd ever experienced.
Outside Tuesday's hearing, Swift fans protested.
No price gouging!
Penny Harrison was one of 3.5 million people trying to buy tickets in November, losing her tickets after spending 9 hours in the online queue.
We're mad. There needs to be a change.
They're joining some lawmakers in demanding more competition, and they're angry over the 2010 merger between Ticketmaster and Live Nation. According to data in a consumer lawsuit, Ticketmaster controls about 70% of the market for concert ticketing and live events. Senator Amy Klobuchar says the company also owns or controls many of the major venues and imposes fees as high as 75% of the cost of the ticket.
This is all a definition of monopoly because Live Nation is so powerful that it doesn't even need to exert pressure.
Live Nation's CEO argued Ticketmaster has lost market share since the merger. CBS News has learned the company is now the target of a Department of Justice antitrust investigation. Morgan Harper is leading a coalition of organizations, artists, and fans, pressuring the Justice Department to separate Live Nation from Ticketmaster.
They can sue to say, hey, this merger isn't working out and maintaining competition like we thought it would, and so we're going to impose what are called structural remedies to break up the company.
Ticketmaster has denied any anti-competitive practices.
The head of Live Nation also testified Ticketmaster could have prevented the November meltdown by staggering sales over a longer period of time and better communicate to fans, hoping to get tickets that it might not happen.
I am so sick of Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
I just, every time I go to buy tickets, I did it this morning. I bought tickets for an church concert. I could not sleep last night because I was so concerned about all the different things that could go wrong on that dumb website.
Because I remember how much of a mess it was with all this Taylor Swift stuff. There were people saying they were being charged for things that they didn't pay for. People couldn't get in.
They couldn't even get tickets.
It was a mess.
The one woman they talked to was in the queue for 9 hours and then still didn't get them.
And then nothing. And there were some people that they said they were clicking on it and it wasn't doing anything. So they clicked 2 or 3 times and they got charged 4 times.
I saw a tweet where someone got charged like $1,400 because they just kept clicking it.
Yep.
My heart dropped. That was me.
It's such a monopoly. So I did get those tickets today.
Okay.
But their service fees were $25 per ticket.
Woo!
I want to know, what are you doing with that money?
Yeah,
$25?
$25 per ticket.
$2.25.
I bought 3 tickets and there were $75 in service fees.
That's too much.
Wow.
For what?
That is very high. I would like to know where that money goes to.
I mean, tickets are digital. It's not even printing or anything.
Right,
now,
I know. And I mean, how many employees? I mean, where is this money going? It's a monopoly, and I really hope that Congress is able to do something about it.
Put the hammer down.
That's right.
Sorry, that is my soapbox for the day. Let's move on, okay? All right, some of the stories that we are following today that have nothing to do with Ticketmaster. The city of Winston-Salem is giving you an opportunity to meet the candidates for police chief. They're holding a meeting tomorrow night. These are the 4 candidates you see there on your screen. 3 are current assistant chiefs with the department. The 4th is the police chief in Danville, Virginia. All 4 have served in law enforcement for at least 20 years. The city hopes to choose by the end of the month. In Greensboro, the new chief has already made several promotions. Chief John Thompson was sworn in earlier this month, and today he revealed his selection for deputy chief and 3 assistant chiefs. All 4 are already within the department. The chief says the group's first priority is meeting with officers, staff, and people who live in Greensboro to get their input on the department's new goals.
The community has another chance tonight to meet with the Guilford County School Superintendent and help shape where the district heads. Dr. Whitney Oakley launched these public meetings as a part of her first 100 days in charge. So far, she's met with more than 2,000 parents, students, educators, business, faith, and community leaders. Tonight's meeting is happening at 6 at Dudley High School. Today, Randolph County School Systems received an electric bus. It is the first public school district in our state to receive one. It is one of 5 school districts selected for the pilot program. They say the charging station is located at Southwestern Randolph Middle School.
During the pandemic, many of us took up new hobbies. Maybe you learned a new skill or two. Some even started new businesses. But few accomplished what a talented toddler in the UK managed to pull off.
Teddy Hobbs just might be the brainiest little boy in Britain. For one, the 4-year-old could count to 100 before he was 2. Now he can do it in 7 languages.
But I just assumed, you know, every child has their own quirk. Each child develops slightly quicker in something else than the other ones, and we just assumed that was his thing.
The clever kid found his love of learning during lockdown, wanting to watch only educational shows.
What are you cutting it out to make?
A shape of Kenya.
His brilliance caught the attention of Mensa,
Has qualified for.
and he became their youngest member in the UK. The High IQ Society only accepts people who score in the 98th percentile or higher on an intelligence test.
So he was 3 years and 7 months, and it said his letter and word recognition was at 8 years and 10 months.
Teddy's impressive report card includes teaching himself to read at 2 years old.
Teddy has done all of this himself. When we go out and we give him the option of a treat, he wants a book rather than chocolate.
Despite being a boy genius, he's still just a boy.
He's absolutely a normal 4-year-old boy. You know, he finds poo really funny.
That's not my bee.
His family wonders if Teddy's younger sister will follow in his footsteps. Those are some big, or rather little shoes to fill.
Oh,
Cutest
so
ever.
cute.
2 years old reading.
I was thinking about when he was playing with the Play-Doh, he said he wanted to make Kenya, the country
Oh,
of
he said
Kenya.
that's what- yeah, of
yes,
course,
when I was
of
that
course.
age, I was making flowers and all types of stuff.
I was just trying to roll it flat. He's like,
He said, I'm going to make Kenya. I was like, wow, that is just, his parents have to be so proud and just
yes.
amazed.
And if they have like other kids that are like normal acting kids,
Yeah.
I'm
can
sure.
you imagine if you're the brother of that kid? Okay. You just like walk off.
That's good. It reminds me, it's like young Sheldon.
Yes.
Where he's like the
Yes.
smart, the genius, and then his siblings are just normal, right?
Or the show Smart Guy. Did y'all used to watch Smart
No,
Guy?
I don't know that
Oh,
one.
that was a good one. He was like the younger brother in high school with his high school siblings.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun. It reminds me of Doogie Howser too. That old show back
Doogie
in
Howser
the day.
MD with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes, yeah, first time you ever saw him. That he may graduate college at like 12 years old. I mean, I'm not
7
kidding.
different languages and can count to 100.
And
by
taught himself
the age
to
of
read at 2.
I know. I mean, there's a lot of 2-year-olds that can't even form full sentences,
Mm-hmm.
let alone read. So that is just really impressive. I'm excited to see where he goes next.
Yes.
Or like what his parents, you know, as a parent, what do you do? Like, I'm sure they want to pour
tells
as
you
much as
what
they
to do.
can into their kid, but it's like, wow, like most kids aren't doing that at 2
He'll
or
be
3
like
years old.
the National Academy of Pediatrics mom said that that's not the right way to do it.
And she'll be like, really? Like that? He might be able to trick his parents and get what he wants.
Right. Are you smarter than a 2-year-old? You should have that guy.
New
on
game
the
show
right?
with him. Are you smarter than Theodore?
I love that his mom put into her perspective, though. She was like, he still thinks poo is funny.
Of course.
So he's still a 2-year-old boy, right?
We still have that. That's right. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, well, coming up, how upgrades in technology and mannequins could entirely change the way you shop.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination.
All right, so we're doing some retail therapy here today, friends.
Okay.
So when you look, ladies on the left, guys on the right. All right, so we're gonna go clothes shopping today. Any of you mind that?
Yep.
Oh, I love
I
shopping.
mean, if you're buying, heck yeah.
All right, so when you go, what helps you the most to be successful in your shopping trip? Do you like to just hunt through the hangers? Do you like to just look at the mannequin and go, yep, I'll take that? Or do you like when the salesperson says, here, let me help you?
I like to look through myself, and I
Yeah.
like to try my clothes on.
I also like to look through myself. I get a little bit nervous going into stores where the employees are paid on commission.
Oh, yeah.
Because then they're
Because they're
a little
come
aggressive.
a lot. Like, do you need help? Do you need help?
Okay, but you guys aren't that's on the mannequin, so I just want that. You breeze by it and you put it together yourself?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I'd probably breeze right by it.
Yeah, because sometimes the mannequins, I feel like their proportions don't match mine, so I don't go based off of just looking at the
Gotcha.
mannequin.
Okay, so no surprise, of course, stores are using technology to help you make a purchase, so check this out.
Hi, what do you think of this look? How about I have a sales associate go grab it for you?
Okay, well, welcome to the new in-store mannequin. Verizon is teaming up with the company Proto to produce these lifelike holograms. The image, of course, 3D, it's taped in another location and then displayed in those video boxes.
As you can see here, it does create a very lifelike representation of actual products. So sometimes even when products are first launched, they may not actually be delivered to the store yet, but it allows you to debut and showcase items to your consumers as soon as they're released.
All right, so to me, it's creepy and cool all at the same time.
Yes,
I
agreed.
really like it. I think it's like a more accurate visual of what the clothes are going to look like on someone.
It's just weird that it's not real.
I know, but it looks so very real.
Yes.
I mean, it is a real person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder, like, how interactive it would be, you know? Like,
Oh, like
if you could say your name.
Like, I've seen you looking at this a couple of times. You should go ask the salesperson.
Right.
That would be kind of weird.
That would be creepy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe this will get people back in the stores. Maybe not right now. An estimated 46% of apparel sales is online. Is that surprising or kind of like where you thought it would be?
Not too surprising. I feel like just over the course of the last 2 years with the pandemic, more people have been buying online rather than going into the store.
I'm at about 98% online of apparel sales right
And
now.
you are 98% in store.
In store. I like to touch it, feel it. I don't want to try it on. I do some online shopping, but I prefer in store.
Like socks. You can buy socks online.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard to buy pants.
See,
and a dress
I just like
and
to.
whatever.
I just like to do like so. This is not a commercial for Amazon, but I like to do where they're try on, where you can order 7 things at a time, not pay for any of them, and you get a week to try it on, and then you return the stuff you don't want, and only
okay.
pay for the stuff that you got.
Okay.
So I mean, a lot of stores do those things. You know, the boxes where you can get
Right.
a whole wardrobe delivered.
Yes.
I like to do that.
It just seems like an extra step.
Yeah.
Because you want to go to the store.
Yeah.
And feel it and touch it and
Yeah.
try it on.
Yes.
Is this me? Is this not me?
Yep.
Okay. Happy shopping, friends.
We've got some cloud cover on the way. Now, when you look at our time lapse here, and yes, it's actually moving, although you don't see a whole lot happening there. We did see a couple of clouds develop here. They're a beautiful day, though. I mean, made it up to those low to mid 50s, just depending on where you are. Not a bad outlook. Now, things start to change for us tonight. We're going to see those clouds start to build in ahead of the next system that'll bring us rain. And there is an isolated thunderstorm chance, but I really think that's more of a, say, Chatham, more in Lee County, maybe Alamance, maybe tomorrow, but the storm Prediction Center is shifting their marginal risk for thunderstorms more toward the Raleigh area. So we'll keep our eye out on that for you. But look at the regional temperatures here. We're all on the same page. 53 in the Triad, and same story in Wilmington. Even Asheville in the higher elevations, only 2 degrees cooler than us right now. 57 in Columbia, 53 in Roanoke. So lows tonight, 36 degrees. Look for those clouds on the increase. There is a chance of an overnight shower, but the heavier rains we think are coming in tomorrow. And that is a 100% chance of rain. You usually don't see that. 100% chance. 51 for the high temperature. And then winds, because the way the systems are stacking up, are going to be pretty gusty too, maybe even 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts or more. This system picking up a lot of steam. Now, if you look to the north, I mean, you see a lot of snow showers up in the northern section of that. That will miss us. And really, even the severe weather, we're lucky in that respect too. The tornado warnings that we've seen today have been around the Houston area. Now it's moving into Louisiana. So probably Shreveport, and then next in line would be New Orleans as this system lifts to the north and to the east. I want you to look at our high-resolution futurecast. Clouds start to build in. We'll freeze it right here. This is at about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Western half of the state seeing more of the rain, but that's when it kind of begins for us, right, within an hour or two of that. Moving through right in the heart of the day. I mean, that's your lunch hour. So heavier showers. The areas highlighted in that yellow, orange, and red means heavier rains out there. And then it starts to exit to the east. But I mean, really, we still see a chance of showers even at probably this time tomorrow. But after that, we head into the evening, we'll see clearer conditions for us. Now, long-range forecast. After that system moves by, we've got breezy conditions on your Thursday. That is a partly cloudy sky and a high of 48. And then Friday is all sunshine with a high of 45. That's a cooler, in fact, the coldest day, that overnight low 27 for Friday morning. And then Saturday, partly cloudy with a little rain Sunday, both days in the low 50s.
When the temps are so up and down like they've been the last few weeks, I asked you on Facebook, how do you keep your air in your house? Larry says 67 pretty much year round. Diana, I'm up and down however I feel, not set on a particular number. Mary, my heat and air stay on 74 all year long. And Elder wrote, I don't know, my wife is in control of that. LOL.
Smart man,
That's
Elder.
probably the best decision.
Yeah, because you know the air in the house creates a lot of fights, a lot of bickering.
I loved it when cars started coming out with like the dual thermostat. That doesn't work in that tiny little cabin. You can't keep one side of that cool and one. That's just to stop arguing.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I'm curious if they'll ever come out with something similar for like a bedroom.
So those
It's
mattresses.
like the Tempur-Pedic.
Yeah, one of them heats and cools.
Oh.
So you can pick your side. I mean, they're expensive. We don't have one of those, but you can choose your temperature on your side and on the other.
Maybe that's what my folks need, because my mom is always hot and my dad's always cold, and they're always going back and forth, going up and down. I think for me, when the weather changes, I just do what makes me comfortable. I don't have a particular temperature. You know, I'll be at 68 one day and 74 the next, just whatever makes me feel comfortable.
Where do you keep your thermostat?
It depends on the season. So in the wintertime, while I'm there and awake, I keep it at 69. When I go to bed, I shut it off completely.
Really?
In the summertime, when it's really hot, I'll keep it at like 67 while I'm awake. And then, or no, 60, something like that. And then I bump it down at night.
So ours has a thing on it where you can pick a 5-degree spread. So we keep it from 68 to 73, and it keeps you in that range.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, we'll be right back. Six, 7, 8, and 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
I'm putting it on my body. I'm putting it.
1, 2, 3 for 5. 1, 2, 3 for 5. In just a moment, this gym's going to be packed.
Milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go.
The weather warms.
Chop, chop, check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. In moments, hundreds of people are going to.
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Mike check. NCDOT also told us there are some temporary lane markings.
Hey, it's time for my 2 cents. Listen, get ready. If you have that friend that has a little bit of a sharp tongue and you're never quite sure whether they're complimenting you or not, I'm giving you some ammo. If you're from the South, and I always think back to like Steel Magnolias, and you do that old Southern accent and they give you a compliment that's really not a compliment. Here's some examples of how you can use those and shoot back. I'll do a Southern accent for this one. That's a beautiful photo of you. I did not even recognize you. How about this one? Oh, that dress is so pretty. It actually makes you look skinny. Those are the kind where you go, thank you, but wait, what? Here's another one for you. Your Instagram account, it makes you seem so fun. Thank you, I think. How about when someone comes into your house? I wish I could be as relaxed as you are about the messiness. Those are horrible. This one I heard a lot. You clean up nice. I don't know, that's middle of the road. But here's one. Be careful with this one. You're talking about at the job place and you applied for a job. I did not expect you to get that job. Congratulations! You see what happens there? If you cram that first part in real fast, they don't really process it yet. I didn't expect you to get that. Congratulations! Very good. All right, there you go. Use these carefully. You never heard them from me. And that's just my 2 cents. And that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
In moments, the gym behind me is going to be packed with hundreds of people, all in support of one man. The honor that will soon be presented to a well-deserving coach coming up.